So one thought that I have as we move into the season here, and Gerard Gallant's been fired. Who's next? Somebody's on their way out somewhere. I'm going to work my way backwards through all of the coaches in the NHL. Paul Maurice in Winnipeg. Safe? Probably. If Maurice gets fired, it'll be at the end of the year. Washington, Barry Trotz. Trotz is safe. Trotz has another 15 years before he gets fired again. Vancouver, Willie Desjardins. He's on the clock. If the Canucks can't catch up, and I don't think they can, he'll be the easy scapegoat. Toronto, Mike Babcock. He's signed a contract that's more luxurious and wondrous than most players. Tampa, John Cooper. He's safe. He's safe. His playoff record and just his overall record makes him a safe bet to stay there. Peter DeBoer in San Jose. He's got at least a year before he has to worry. Ken Hitchcock, of course, is in his last year. Pittsburgh, Mike Sullivan is exceedingly safe. He's not going anywhere. Philadelphia, Dave Haxtell. I don't know. Ron Hextall, the GM, I don't think is just going to react and fire a coach when a team isn't getting good goaltending, and he's being forced to play a lot of young players. But we'll see. Ottawa, Guy Boucher, obviously, he's safe. Rangers, Alain Vigneault. Hey, the Rangers are playing fantastic hockey. He's not getting fired. The Islanders with Jack Capuano. It has to be entering their minds when they're sitting at the bottom of the standings. It just has to be. New Jersey. John Hines is the head coach in his second year. He's good. New Jersey's playing well enough that he's not going to get fired. Nashville. Peter Laviolette. He's a coach with so much experience. I can't see Nashville getting rid of him, but they're below 500. And they're expecting so much more. Montreal, Michel Therrien will be a Montreal head coach for quite a while to come. Which is, depending on which Montreal fan you ask, good news or horrible news. Minnesota is playing well under Bruce Boudreau. The Kings with Daryl Sutter. I think Sutter's 2 Stanley Cup wins means that he can miss the playoffs probably 3 times before he has to worry about losing his job. Florida, there's no point touching on that. Edmonton, Todd McClellan. McClellan is as safe as they get, no matter what happens to Edmonton. Detroit, Jeff Blashill. If Detroit misses the playoffs, he's definitely a candidate to get fired. Dallas with Lindy Ruff. This is Ruff's 4th year. Dallas is not getting better. Is it Lindy Ruff's fault that he has 2 crappy goaltenders? No. Will he take the fall for it? Probably. In his 3 years, Dallas has made the playoffs twice. If they miss the playoffs this year, it'll be 2 years out of 4. And they'll be taking a huge step backwards if they miss the playoffs this year, and it looks like they will. At this point, I'm not picking Dallas to make the playoffs. I know right now mathematically they're close, but they have 6 loser points. They only have 9 wins in 23 games. That's not a good record. And Lindy Ruff will take the fall before anybody else. Columbus, John Tortorella, who was a joke when he left Vancouver. Nobody's joking now that he's in Columbus. They're looking good. Colorado just got a new coach. He's not going anywhere. Chicago has this coach named Joel Quenneville. Seems legit. Probably going to coach Chicago until he decides not to coach Chicago anymore. Carolina with Bill Peters. Yeah, he's a candidate to get fired if they miss the playoffs. Calgary, Glenn Gulletson. Well, Calgary fans, what do you think? You're only 20 games in, but how do you feel? 25 games in. 10 wins in 25 games. Um, Buffalo has Dan Bylsma. I can't see Dan Bylsma being in any trouble, even though Buffalo hasn't played very well. Boston with Claude Julien. There's certainly a lot of Boston fans that would like to see him go. I don't see it happening. If they miss the playoffs, I could see it at the end of the year. Arizona has Dave Tippett. I think Dave Tippett, regardless of how Arizona plays, will be coach. I can't see Arizona getting rid of him, but the young GM might change his mind on that one. And finally, Anaheim, who just hired Carlisle back. Anaheim finds themselves currently in 16th place. They have 10 wins in 22 games. Can't see it. So I guess out of the current crop of coaches, in terms of a regular season firing, if the Flames bottomed out completely, I could see Gulletson getting it. I could see Willie Desjardins being gone, and I could see Jack Capuano being gone in New York. Other than that, I think every coach is safe until the end of the year. But coaching in the NHL is a tricky thing because you don't get credit when your team does well, but you get a lot of blame when your team isn't doing well. And there are so many different things to consider, from relationship with a GM, especially if GMs change. New GM says, I want my guy in there. It can be an uncomfortable situation. I remember Brian Burke coming in and saying, I can work with Mike Keenan, and it worked for, a week and a half. It's tricky. And it's not a job that I would want. I would relish a chance to run an NHL team, either from behind the bench or up in the press box as GM, but I'm not arrogant enough to say that I can do better than current GMs or current coaches. I would love to have a shot at that. I would love to have a shot at just once making an actual trade and just actually doing that. That'd be fantastic. But anyways, let me know in the comments who you think is the next coach to go. Who do you think is on thin ice? And who do you think that is being rescued by a team that isn't a very good coach? So a coach that you think, man, I really wish he wasn't coaching here, but the team's got a really good record. So let me know in the comments. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're just browsing through. And thanks for watching. I will be back tomorrow. I'm looking through past drafts to pick out some diamonds in the rough. That's the plan. And I want to take a look into some careers that may be forgotten. May have even been forgotten already at this point. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow.